guys.
Formula One returns to Interlagos once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic SAO Paulo Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and just 4 years later, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights, for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Sainz, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Albon, Stroll, Gasly, Bottas, Ocon, Magnussen, Daniel, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Joe, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. So we're getting close to the start of the race. What will this driver be experiencing? Big nerves? Big excitement? What?
Always extra nerves at the start of the race. It's probably at the start of the race, it's where your heart rate's at its highest in anticipation. And you've got to be in the right mindset. You've got to be thinking there inside the car, what can go right? How can I be opportunistic rather than what can go wrong, and how do I protect my position? Look forward and stay positive. It's easy to say, very hard to do when you're in that position.
It's going to be a struggle to match our last result, but let's see what you can do.
Guys, first of all, breaking news, we have gained 1 place. I qualified yesterday in P16, but with the Lewis Hamilton penalty, now we will start in P15. That's significant because that means I will start in the outside of turn 1, in the clean side. That is the opposite where I started yesterday in the sprint in P10, in the left side. So this is something we have to discuss later on. But now we have 71 exciting laps ahead. In front of us we have one Haas, I think it's Magnussen, and then I think it's Ocon, and then it's a Sauber. And as you saw in the starting grid, Alex qualified in 9th place. That means the car is there. I qualified 10 in the sprint qualifying. I mean, we have a car to win points, or at least to fight for points. This is the mission today. But obviously, starting here in P15, we have some work to do. But before to do that, obviously, we need to know the strategy, and let's see what we can do about that. Oh, interesting. The team is suggesting me 2 stops in both scenarios, using 2 softs and the hard at the end. But being honest, I don't understand why, because the medium is much better tire. So if I have to choose between these 2, I prefer much better this one. I don't know why the team is suggesting me the second strategy, to be honest. Here the soft tire is a tire that is the C2, it's not the C4, it's not the C5. That means it's not the softest, and with this tire the C2 is possible to run a bit more consistent. Obviously in the sprint race yesterday we saw that after 15 laps everyone started to having struggles in traction. But I think it's a tire that is worth it to be used, you know. My idea before to start this live stream when I wake up was 1 stop, but as you can see just below of me, well, you cannot see, but behind my screen where I am, I can see, well, I will show you. Look at that, 40 degrees, track degrees. 40 degrees is a lot. I don't remember to be on this game with 40 degrees on track. I don't remember that. So the hot is insane. That means the tire wear probably will be even higher. So probably 1 stop is very risky. It's really risky, guys. So I think this strategy of using two soft at the beginning could be ideal. I'm thinking into change the order of the stints. I'm thinking into use the medium and the second stint, and the another soft at the end. And let's try to play with it. Let me play a bit with that. Let me put this strategy. Let's see. Okay, I'm gaining 4 seconds in the projected race time. So obviously, in that strategy, I can use a bit more the medium. Or even maybe 28 laps. Even a bit more, maybe 30 laps. It's 29 laps. With this strategy, I'm almost matching this one, but it's still being a bit slower. But it will not so bad, this strategy. Obviously, this strategy, the risk I see on this strategy is if we have a safety car in the middle part of the race. Because if we have a safety car and everyone stop, and it's really early, obviously I cannot put the soft tire with 35 laps to go, something like that, you know, or 40. So it's much ideal this one in case a safety car appears between the second and third stint, because in that way, even putting the medium a bit earlier than expected, the medium can last, you know, to the end of the race. That's the only problem I see to this strategy. Anyway, we have to be responsive or to be active in any moment if something happens in race to change the strategy, you know. But I think this strategy I think is the best one, guys. I don't see any better strategy than this one, to be honest. Question is now the number of laps per stint. I assume this is the default strategy that the team suggests me. That means that probably the rest of the AI cars on the same strategy will stop in similar laps. So question here is we try the undercuts, we try to stay a bit longer on track. That's the key, guys. That's the key of this race. Obviously we can pit a bit earlier in lap 20, for example, but also to reduce the number of laps of the second stint. So I want to do something like that. That could be another option, to pit a bit earlier, 1-2 laps earlier, and in that way to try to undercut someone, you know. And as you can see in the projected time, from lap 15, something like that, is when the projected lap time is starting to drop or to going high, you know. That is exactly what we saw in the sprint yesterday. From lap 15, something like that, is when I start to feel troubles in traction and, you know, in grip, and the rest of the cars the same. So 15 laps is like the right window when the soft starts to be slower probably than the medium. Obviously that increase with the amount of fuel. Heavier is the car, more degradation you have, and obviously in the first stint with more than 100 kilos in the car, the tire wear is even higher. That's why the first stint it's really important to manage the tires, especially from lap 15. In the second one, a bit lighter, the car will be easier, but obviously it's an stint we have to look after the tires, you know. This two stint of soft will be critical, guys. How we manage the softs is really important, you know. And then the medium tire is the key, guys, of the whole race. I think it will be a race if we are as we saw yesterday, if we are in a train of DRS. I think the key here is to be in DRS in every moment. Even if you are in front and you have no DRS in front, it's really hard to maintain the cars behind, as we saw yesterday when I passed Gasly a couple of times and immediately he come back to me, or when we saw how Alon was passing the Alpine and some laps later he passed again Gasly y pass Albon as well. When you are in a train and you are leading the train, it's really difficult to maintain the cars behind, and with that battles you lose the gap with the next train of cars, you know. That's what happened to me yesterday. So it's very important to don't stay in so many troubles, I think, here, and try to pick your battles very well, you know. I think the most important is to don't lose the gap with the train of cars in front, battling with your cars around, you know. I think this is the key. And also, obviously, tire management will be really important in that regard to maintain the pace of the cars. So let's see now. Let me check the fuel. Yesterday in the sprint I put plus 0.9. I don't remember how much fuel I consumed, but I think I was close to the target, to the minimum fuel. So in 24 laps I exceed the fuel per lap almost in 1 lap. That means that now with 71 laps, that is 3 times more than the sprint race, I will need around 3 laps of extra fuel. That is 74 laps. I think I can play with the fuel, maybe with 73.8 could be fine. With plus 2.8 I think should be fine. Obviously being in the race train obviously helps to the full fuel consumption as well, so this is something we have to take into account as well. I think this is a strategy, guys. I think I don't see any better, guys. Let me play with a bit more of a strategy in the second strategy with the hard, for example. In one stop, if we do one stop with the medium, for example, and the hard, how much faster or slower we can be. Let me play with that, and let's see. Wow, it's clearly slower, this strategy on these tires. Clearly slower. It's like, wow, almost 13 seconds lower, guys. This strategy is too much laps on the hard tire. Definitely it's not worth it. So yeah, basically I think over starting in medium, even we can starting on medium and then putting 2 softs and maybe playing with that, going very long in the first stint. But anyway, still a bit slower than the first one, just less than 1 second. But I think this strategy is really risky, especially if with a safety car in the middle of the race. That's why I think this strategy is clearly the best one, guys, to cover possible safety car. So I think this is the strategy I will use for today, guys, definitely. Well, about car setup, I didn't change absolutely anything, guys. Absolutely anything from practice 1. Really happy, no troubles, to be honest. Let's reduce 1 point here. Super happy with the setup. And well, this is the situation, guys. Obviously, I forget to mention that with the penalty of Lewis Hamilton starting in P17, obviously it's a car that it will be a problem for us if we don't pass the cars in front soon. I'm sure it will be just behind me if I'm staying in this position. So I would like to try to be a bit more aggressive in the start. Yesterday I lost 1 place with Gasly. I was in the inside, it was in the outside. Maybe here in the outside is better. I thought that not, but maybe the outside is a better option than the inside in this race. We have ahead Magnussen. My idea is I need to do a mega start. I would like to pass Magnussen before turn 1, but obviously then I will be blocked by Ocon. I think I have no meters enough to pass Ocon before turn 1 if my start is very good. So yeah, I mean I need to gain one place or two. I will try, guys. Especially because I don't want to have behind me Hamilton very soon. You know, it's a problem because he will be very fast. He will put a lot of pressure, and it's very distracting to know. You know, so I would like to clear some cars in the start. Obviously, to get close to Alex as much as possible. I think Alex will be in position to fight for points in every moment, so we need to be there as soon as possible. Obviously, this is long race, I know. That means we have to be very, you know, cautious, and to know that it's really long race, and if we can pass at the start, don't worry, you know. It's like let's be patient if we can pass. But yeah, I think I really need to clear some cars in lap 1, especially at least the Haas. Then is the Sauber there, that I think the Sauber will be a problem, I think, at some point very early in the race, because I think it will be slower than the cars he had in front. I think probably we will have a train of cars between the Sauber and the rest of the cars behind, and from the Sauber to the cars in front, I think they will create a gap of more than 1 second very soon, and probably if we don't pass the next 3 cars ahead soon, I will be stuck in this train, and probably I will have troubles, you know. So that's why it's very important to try to be a bit more aggressive. Obviously, not crashing, you know, not having contact. That's the last thing. As I did yesterday in the sprint with that contact with Gasly in lap 20. Obviously, it was a sprint race. I can took more risks, less to lose. This is a big race. This is the race where we can fight for points. I think we can do it, but you know, to do that, I think that fight with this Sauber, with this Alpine, and this Haas will be critical. And as I said before, a bit worried because of Hamilton in P17. Ricciardo is just behind me. I hope he don't pass me as well. If he have a good start, I assume most of the drivers will start on soft. That should be the ideal. But maybe we have a some surprise and we see someone starting on medium. I don't think anyone will use the hard tire today. It's not a great tire. It's the C2. It's true that the tire wear is very high. The track temperature is very high. That can help to use the C2. But I think in general it's much slower tire. So tire wear will be critical, as I said, with this track temperature, so high track temperature. Let's see which cars have starting to have troubles in the first laps, guys. I'm sure we will have different trains of cars very early, as I said. So my mission will be to try to be in P12 as soon as possible. That will be passing the Sauber and try to catch the, I think it's Stroll in the Aston Martin I seen there, and then it's Gasly, and then is I don't remember who is, and then it's Albon. So this is where we have to be, guys. That is a very similar position we were yesterday in the sprint. So just we have 3 cars in front of us that we have to clear, and this is the race, guys. I think this is gonna be the race. Obviously this is theory, because you know, maybe we have some kind of crash or issue in the start. Not me, maybe someone crash, or you know, we have contacts, we have safety cars. Anything can happen, you know. This is a Formula 1 race. But the theory says that if I do not pass this car soon, these 3 cars ahead, my race can be starting to be a bit more difficult in terms to try to fight for points. That is the mission. The mission. We have a car. Obviously, it's the 6th car. The top 5 teams, including Aston Martin, are really better cars than us. But for example, we can fight with Aston Martin as we did in Mexico, especially with the Stroll, also with Alonso. I passed Alonso at the final lap of the race in Mexico. So I think it's possible, and in this fight are the points. in the last places. Remember that we have actually 25 points, 1 point more than Alex with 24 in that fight for finishing in P11 in the driver standings. That's my goal. I'm just 1 point ahead of Alex. If Alex scored 1 or 2 points today, he will be ahead. So this is very important. Only 4 races to go. This is gonna be a very interesting battle from now to the end of the season. Obviously we are teammates as well. We have to look after a bit more for each other, you know, in terms of constructor points. But the constructor championship, the 6th place is very secure. We have a big gap of points with RB and Alpine, so we can focus a bit more in the driver championship battle. And as I said, I only 1 point ahead of Alex Albon. If he scored points today and I do not, probably will be ahead. I think it need 2 points, because in case of the same number of points, I have a 4th place. No, he only has a 4th place. His best result, but my second best result, that is 6, is better than his second best result, that is 7. So in case of to have the same number of points, he will be behind me. But if he finishes in the position he starts 9th, and I do not score points, he will finish ahead of me in this weekend, and only 3 races to go. So that battle is very important for me, to finish ahead of Alex and to finish P11 in the Drivers' Championship. So let's see if we can do it, guys. This is basically all we have to know before the race starts. By the way, the countdown is wrong, because the race starts in exactly 24 minutes. In 23 minutes I will be racing on Twitch, guys, in exclusive. The race, the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, in my Formula 124 career mode, will be possible to be watched on Twitch, only on Twitch. So I strongly recommend you to follow me there, to don't miss the race with me. And obviously don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Floss F1G. This is my gaming channel, where you can see later on the replays of my sessions, but obviously it's not so nice as to watch it all live, you know. So subscribe if you really enjoy my gameplays, my career mode. We are coming to the end of the season, but it's never late to be subscribed. Let's see if someday we can reach that 1,000 subscribers. And as I said, twitch.tv/DannyFloss1. This is where I will be racing in 23 minutes, guys. That's all for the moment. Finger crossed. Let's try to have fun. Let's try to fight for those points, and let's see what we can do. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in 22 minutes on Twitch. Bye bye.